Hello student, today we'll study new chapter, the story of Amrita. This story is based on true story. So student, let's study together. This is a true story from long ago. Almost 300 years ago in a village called Kejarli lived Amrita. Kejarli village is near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. The village got its name because of the many kejari trees that grew there. This story is true story, okay? It's a very old story, almost 300 years ago. There is one village, Kejarli, and this place is situated in Rajasthan, Jodhpur, near Jodhpur. There was one girl lived. Her name was Amrita. That village got that name Kejarli because many kejari trees that grew there. That's why people of that village gave this name. The people of this village great take care of the plants, trees and animals. Goats, deers, hares and peacocks roam fearlessly there. The people of the village remember what their elders used to tell them. They used to say, "Agar peड़ hai to hum hai." Plants and animals can survive without us, but we cannot survive without them. The people of that village, they love plants and animals. Okay, they take care of all the plants and animals always. There are many animals like goats, deers, birds, peacocks, hares. They just roam fearlessly. And people of that village always remember what had taught from their elders, because their elders used to tell them, do not harm animals and plants, always take care plants and animals. Their elders taught them like that. That's why they have adopted this nature, this culture since childhood. And they used to say that, their elders used to say that, agar peड़ hai to hum hai. So that's why they give a much more important to animals and plants, and they think like that, and they said, without plant and animals we cannot survive, but animals and plants, they can survive without human beings. So we have to encourage each and everyone to plant. Every day we have to plant one plant. Amrita's friends. Amrita would get up early morning and greet her friends, the trees. She would choose a special tree for the day. She would put her arms around the tree trunk and whisper to the tree, friends, you are strong and beautiful. You care for us. Thank you, tree. I love you very much. Give your strength to me. Also, like Amrita, the other children also had their special trees. They would play for us in the shade of the trees. Amritas, who lived that village, she used to wake up early in the morning always, and she used to greet her friends. Her friends are trees. All the trees are friend of Amritas. Okay, and she had also a special tree, and she used to hug and put her arms around the tree, and always whisper to the tree. And she used to say it like that, friends, you are very strong and beautiful, and you care for us. She used to thank tree also, and she loves tree very much, and she used to tell the trees, give us strength to me also. Like Amrita, many other children also love trees, okay, and they used to play for us in the shade of the trees. Trees in danger. Time went by. Amrita was now grown up. One day she went to greet her trees. She saw that there were some stranger in her village. They had access with them. They said that the king had sent them to cut trees for woods. The wood was needed for building the king's palace. Then time went, okay. As the time passed, the Amrita was grown up. Now, now she is no more kids. Now she grown up. One day, what happens? She usually she went to greet her trees. Okay, and she saw some of the stranger there in her village. They had access with them, and they were carried access, and then they said the king had sent them to cut the trees for hoods. The hood was needed for building the king's palace. Amrita was shocked. Then Amrita was very shocked to hear this news. She went to the tree that the men were about to cut. She put her arms around the tree, hugged it tightly. The men shouted, threatened her, but Amrita did not let go of the tree. The king's men had to follow his order. They had to cut the tree. On seeing this, Amrita's daughters and hundreds of villagers, old and young, hugged the trees to protect them. Many people, including Amrita and her daughters, died to save the trees. When they were about to cut the trees, Amrita put her arms around the tree and just hugged the trees very tightly. Then men shouted and threatened so badly, but Amrita did not let go of the tree. And the king's men had to follow his orders because kings had ordered to cut the trees for king's palace. They had to cut the trees. On seeing this, then Amrita's daughters and many more villagers came out and they hugged the trees to protect them. And many peoples, including Amrita and her daughters, they just died. They lost their lives to save the trees. When the king heard of this, he could not believe that people gave up their lives for trees. He visited the village himself. There he learned about villager respect for trees and animals. Then when the king heard about this news, he could not believe that. How can people lose their lives just because of the trees? He was very surprised and he could not believe that. Then he himself visited the village. There he learned many things, how to respect trees and animals from the villagers. The villagers' strong feelings for trees affected the king greatly. He ordered that from then on no tree would be cut and no animal harm in that area. Even today, almost 300 years later, the people of this area called Bisnois continue to plant and continue to protect plants and animals. Even though in the middle of the desert, this area is green and animals roam freely without fear. The villagers had strong feelings for the trees. That things affected the king greatly, and king ordered to everyone's from now onwards, no one will cut the trees, everyone will save the animals and trees. Even today also, now it's almost 300 years later, the people of that area continue to plant, protect animals and plants. Even even though in the middle of the deserts, that area is green and animals roam freely without fear. Okay, student, I will tell you little lines for Kajri tree. The Kajri tree is found mainly in desert area. It can grow without much water. Its bark is used for making medicine. People cook and eat its fruits. Its hood is such that it will not be affected by insect. Animals in this area eat the leaves of the kajri, and children like you play in its shade. And student, this is your homework. Write an essay on tree and what is the importance of tree in our life. How can we save trees? Student, this is your homework. Write an essay, okay, on tree. You can ask your parents if there is any confusions. Thank you.